Yeah, can we drop down 3, bring in 5 without the hose guy even noticing, as such to get under the tree a little tighter? Can we do that? Multi-function. This is like pump rodeo training of the best kind. All right, what's going on? Today is going to be a fabulous day. Need I say more? My favorite pump in the entire universe of concrete pumps. Washed up, tires shined up, polished up. Well, a couple of blemishes there. We'll take care of that on site. Yeah, we're just gonna run out today and we're gonna do about 80 yards in house foundation walls. Nice gravy day, other than the fact that I think this is gonna be like the hottest day of the year so far today. 31 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, like 90 something. Boo-hoo, you guys down south are thinking, but that's pretty warm for us anyhow, for us up here. But we'll get the girl fired up here and get rolling. Oh yeah, and if you haven't already seen the video about the die-cast model giveaway, for the month of July, I will remind you, we're giving away a die-cast model concrete pump Schwing 51 SX. Best comment, question, conversation starter, whatever it may be, in the comments, and all you gotta do is be a subscriber, so make sure to get involved. And of course, the obligatory stop at a staple Canadian morning institution. Coffee time. And just like that, another successful mission. Man, oh man, I gotta quit eating this crap. Gonna get chubby. All right, best thing about this Allison automatic transmission, from a dead stop, absolute rocket ship. Relatively speaking, of course. The old Mach 10 speed, I'd still be in 5th gear doing 30 kilometers an hour. Okay, worst thing about the Allison automatic transmission. On long, steep grades, she's a bit of a dog. It's only having the 6 gears is kind of a detriment. That's where having 10, 11, 12, 18 speeds is obviously nice. And you don't have that extra parasitic loss of the automatic transmission as compared to a manual. The one I'm really interested in is the Mach M drive. It's an automated manual, I believe a 13-speed. So you get the benefits of a manual and the convenience of an automatic. Anybody out there who's driving one of those or has experience with one of those in both a big and or small pump, I'd be really curious to hear the feedback on what you think of them, especially in terms of reliability. It seems like a lot of moving wearable parts to me, but then again I guess so is a manual transmission when you've got a complete monkey trying to tear the gear shifter out of the floor all day long. So it's happening. Oh no, the bell just makes noise like that. It always has since new. Just the way that engine sounds. I shouldn't even say the belt. Oh yeah, no, that's normal.
That's okay, Rick. I was driving home yesterday.
Okay, so here we are. Here it is. Dun, 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 big old foundation. I think. Let me pull in and see how it looks. Maybe we don't have to move it, because I don't want to get my back end in too far off the laneway anyhow, because where that fence comes out, the mixers will have a bugger over time getting around it. So let me just nose up and see how it looks. I don't have my laser, my rangefinder, my laser eye My laser eye tells me I might be 5 feet short if I don't move the lumber, but I'll pull in and have a look. I'll pull in and have a look and then see where the back end sits and see if we even can pull in further. Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, because they come down the lane and they gotta maneuver around this fence. So I don't want to be way up in there. And the mixer's gotta try and make like a 4-point turn between this fence and that fence. And we got to get 8 or 9 trucks in and out here today, so I want to keep it relatively convenient and easy for them. So let's see what we got here. We'll pull in and see how it looks. My laser eye says we'll reach from here. I know we have to get about 6 feet beyond that far corner, but we'll be fine. This will work. Yeah, this is good. Then I can at least still get my back outrigger out all the way. It'll be right at the edge of the dirt pile, and the mixer is... Oh yeah, then he's got a nice straight shot. It's almost perfect. I can pull up another. It's gonna swing open and land right about here. I could pull up another foot if I really wanted to, but I honestly don't. No, I don't think I need it. My laser eye, the pedestal is right here. This pump has 33 meters of horizontal reach. My laser eye tells me that from where I'm standing right here, it is 31 meters to that far corner. We'll see when we stretch out, but if I've got 5-6 feet beyond that far corner there, my laser eye is deadly accurate. Stay tuned. What's up, bro? Jimi Hendrix style today.
Try to keep the sweat out of my eyes.
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, we're gonna get all the outriggers out today. It's gonna be a full outrigger day. We never get those. It's kind of weird, actually. I got my eager helper here, flexing down. But I just explained to him kindly when I'm doing outriggers and dunnage and whatnot, I don't like to have help because it throws me out of my routine. Don't take it personally. It's not you, it's me. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is easy. I'm gonna front outriggers, the 2 front outriggers, the fully loaded riggers. As always, this is essentially our corporate policy. 2 of these Dyka pads down for each working front outrigger. So that's just how we roll. Let's see here, putting this back one out. How good did I do with my estimate of where it would land? Let's see, will we be into the dirt pile? Not too shabby, I'll take it. A little bit of playing around with the shovel and we're good. That rock is bothering me. Tell me I'm not the only one who keeps a pick on their pump. There we go. See? And just like that, we've increased our surface area from 576 square inches, which will be just this top pad, to 1,728 square inches, which is what we have with those 2 bottom pads. So we've reduced our ground pressure significantly. We've almost got 3 times dunnage area just by throwing those 2 pads down. That's why I love these size of pads. 18-inch by 48-inch. 2 of those with a 24 by 24 on top for a 40 meter and smaller pump. And we keep enough on this pump to do all 4 corners if need be. And just like that, we are all set up. No hills, no trees, no wires, at least nowhere close, and those are just communications wires. And all 4 outriggers out, even on the non-working corners of the pump. This is an anomaly. The true test, I want this boom coming off of the driver's side. Doesn't really matter that much, but that'd be ideal. It's a test of will it be a good day or a bad day. If it's off the driver's side, it's gonna be a good day. Here we go. It is, oh, it's not. Bugger. We're doing the spin around. Dun dun dun. Gotta say, one of my favorite things about this 35 meter puts RZ boom and the way it's all laid out, you fold up and your whip hose and tapers fall right into the cradles. You unfold and they just flop right out of there, like so. Like so, like so. They're gonna flop out of there, trust me. Just like that. It's the most amazing thing ever for a small pump like this, when you move around a lot and whatnot, not having to drop the tip elbow right down and heave those tapers back up in there by hand. Oh, little souvenir from my drive in here, I think. Anyhow, yeah, it's all about the little things, and this pump's got a lot of great little things, I will say. A little bit of eco-friendly oil for our hopper here. I know a lot of guys use hydraulic. In our area, we just can't for environmental reasons. We get even a couple drops of that on the ground and make a little oil slick. And yeah, there's hell to pay. So I've just been using this canola stuff. Works quite well. Doesn't break down the rubber components quite the same way as a petroleum-based stuff does. I just give her a good little spray. I usually soak the hopper when I have the pump. I soak it at day's end so this can saturate as the pump sits. This one obviously hasn't been, but we'll doctor up here and get a bucket of dirt under that S tube and rock and roll. Alright, concrete is here. I will say I'm glad it hasn't rained in about 2 months, because I could see this ground here potentially turning into a big old puddle of crapola after we get a couple trucks in and out of here. The top layer is actually quite soft, but it's okay. We're rocking the desert type climate conditions lately, so we're good. Do you see what I mean with bringing them in between that fence and that fence? If I were to cut in any further, we'd have issues. Boom, perfect. And for priming, my usual full volume forward pump. Turn the vibrator off so you can hear, and just spray up into the barrels. Let it switch over 5 or 6 times. And one more and I'll stop it. Boom, we're good. That's all I use. I swear, in terms of priming, this pump was built on a Wednesday. You can almost dry prime it, even in the Z. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know, each pump has their own personality. As far as priming, this one has a very favorable one, so here we go, rock on. All right, it's that time. And man, this first bit of stuff is quite rocky. As per usual, I got my auger in reverse, so I'll pull the rocks away from the barrels until the hopper is full, then I'll switch it back into forward. I call it an auger. I think it's actually called an agitator. But the Canadian term is auger, I promise. about a 3 on the AM dial. RPM's a little low. I like to be able to hear what's going on in the pipes. I'll just puke a little bit onto the hill here. You see the air coming out every time it strokes. It's puffing the dust off of that dirt. That's what you want. You can feel it too. Lift this hose up here. Feel it with your hand. If you don't feel air coming out of there, abort, abort. The last guy might have left a sponge in the boom for you. It's a distinct possibility. Yeah, the material's been a lot rockier lately from all the suppliers. I guess just the raw materials are getting, the gravel's been a lot more coarse than what we're used to seeing. That being said, we've been pretty spoiled here for a while. So by a while, I mean about 25, 30 years. There it is right there. Oh, she's a little rough today. We'll get it. Just getting into that last set of elbows there. We made it. Air closed. We're good. Well, dang, I think my old laser eye is still within calibration. Remember I said we get about 5 feet past that far corner? And that is right where we get to. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of luck involved in this. But that was damn near bang on. I've become so reliant on those little laser rangefinders. I'm surprised I was actually still able to guess that so close. Like I said, lots of luck. Like that, first load is down. Remember when I said how fortunate we were? No trees, no power lines, no hills. Well, I lied. There's actually one tree, but the 5-section RZ boom will make quick work of this. Okay, Mr. Tree. We will not let you defeat us. You will not beat us, Mr. Tree. Look at that, like a glove. Kinda like a glove. This boom makes me incredibly happy. Yeah, can we drop down 3, bring in 5 without the hose guy even noticing? As such to get under the tree a little tighter? Can we do that? Multi-function. This is like pump rodeo training of the best kind. Oh, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Too bad the handsome kid's kind of standing right in the way. It's the most beautiful man in concrete right there, folks. He is a gorgeous specimen. All right. And we're out, we're free. Except for a safety sling. It's almost free. We did it. It's one of those times I'm very appreciative of the twist function joysticks we're trying to run. 4 or 5 functions at the same time, they are an absolute godsend. All right, hard part's done. Pretty good example of why we should always run safety pins in our clamps, work around trees like this. You snag a branch on a clamp handle and it's easy enough to pop them open, so that's why we hold safety pins to a very high safety standard. Does that make sense? I don't know. You get what I mean. All right, so we're just filling in these pony walls here. Our first 2 loads of concrete have no retarder, and we poured it in the footings relatively wet. There's all kinds of blockouts and window wells, so it'll set relatively quick. And then every load after that has a dose of retarder in it. Just it's so hot out today, we don't want to get a bunch of cold joints. We got a bunch of window wells and whatnot that we got to vibrate the concrete underneath of. So yeah, that was strategic. No retarder in the footing mix, and then we slow the mud down a little bit when we get into topping up the walls, because we don't, like I said, we don't want any cold joints. You never know when you're going to get a disruption in service and whatnot. And the weather is very unforgiving today, at least by our standards it is. So it's kind of the problem with doing these monolithic foundation pours. You got to let the footing set up enough that you can vibrate diligently enough that you don't have any air pockets. But it's just a real balancing act between doing that and having to pour the footing too high and getting a cold joint, yada yada yada. It is a way nicer foundation and a lot less waste concrete to pour the footing first and come in and put the forms on afterwards. But I guess scheduling wise, and I got to pay for a pump one more time, yada yada yada. But hands down, you end up with a better foundation doing footings and walls separately, in my opinion. All right, load number 2 is down. We'd like to start loading these walls up pretty soon. Let's see how our tester pile is doing here. This is our prime pile. It's been sitting here for about an hour now. Oh boy. Yeah, that stuff's good. That's what we want. It's a little soft on the inside of the wall where it's shady there, but by the time we finish up with these pony walls, we should be good to put 5 feet in this. We'll probably go 5 feet and 5 feet, or maybe 5 feet, 4 feet, 1 foot. I don't know what the plan is, but I'm surprised. This is a lot squishier than I thought in here. Thank God for sunny weather. That's the second load we put in the footing, which is way hotter than the first one. Figure that out. Well, I'd say that'll hold in the wall.
This way, though, so we can feel this now.
Yeah, I'd say it'll hold. Oh, the mysteries of concrete. One thing about these rental forms, they definitely they ain't the tightest. They leak and they weep and they don't leave the most beautiful finish, but they're fast, efficient, cost effective. You see, you get all the gaps in the panels as he loads this up. It's gonna peek out some more, just like it is there. Weep, baby, weep. It's that time. Pro tip of the day. Whatever I do, or what I do whenever I'm setting my dunnage next to an excavation like this, the rule is 1 to 1. So however deep the excavation is, so that's about 3 feet deep, you need to be 3 feet back. If I were to set right on the edge, that's only about 2 feet back. So I need to be at least an additional foot back. Well, I'm close to 2 feet back. But the tip is, what I do, if I've got dunnage that's rectangular, I'll run it lengthwise parallel to the excavation rather than running the pads this way, perpendicular, and having the edge of the pad closer to the edge of the excavation, because the pads are going to transmit load at a 45-degree angle to the soil or through the soil. So I'd rather have that transmission of load at 45 degrees start back here, versus if I ran the pads the other direction, they'd come up to about here, and in this case I would still be within spec, but still you're now transmitting that load at 45 degrees closer to the edge, which is not what you want. So I always run them parallel to the excavation. That's just my little thing that I do. So anyhow, that's my tip of the day. Man, oh man, this stuff's gotten hot. We got to be close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit now, and I got a little bit of cakey in the hopper here, just because of the slow nature of this pour. I'm gonna pull my screen off, flip the grate up, do a little preventative maintenance here, knock all this in before it's absolutely rock hard, and then I won't have as terrible of a washout. Had I known it would be so toasty today, I might have done my bentonite trick, but all I did was oil. That's fine though. We'll just knock the sides in. It's all good. A little bit of work now saves a lot of work later. So. It's a damn good thing I put that dirt under the S tube. We'll see that when we go to wash out. Try and break this up into small enough pieces I don't have anything that's going to plug me up in my 4 to 3 reducer. Good times. Alright, just like that, we're all tidied up. Man, that's a bit of work, but it's a bit of work now. It's a lot of work later. The amount of times I've seen guys roll back into the hopper or into the yard with a hopper that they haven't tended to all day, and they're chipping away for an hour. It baffles me. Anyhow, if you can do that, better yet, if you cannot have to pump so slow that you have to do that. But yeah, I'll do this a couple times a day doing this kind of work. We had to wait for the guys to catch up on the vibration anyhow. And the mixer was, yeah, he was here, but we couldn't start pouring anyhow. So opportune time to do so, right? Anyhow, yeah. Good old hot weather fun. Gotta love it. And yeah, I got a bunch of water in there, but I'm gonna load this up with a fresh concrete. Mix that water in before I ever start pumping. It will be a non-issue. So, see what I mean? We load her right up, blend all that in. You'll never even see that water transition. Beautiful. You retrieve the tape measure?
I have the tape measure.
Now you just have to, we have to perform the extraction.
There. Tape's the most important thing.
Now we will put a ship into a bottle.
Pull it out with the boom.
Get the ship out. Should we pull it out with the boom? All right, here we go.
Extraction.
Extraction time. Let's see it.
Exciting.
Each grab an arm and just pull them really hard.
Right. Another second we got.
6 foot, 6'1", 180 pounds.
See, on the way up, it's going to pull the gut down and compile it at the waistline. So that's actually working against you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Moves.
Get the butt pass and he's good.
Nice. It's all in the hips. He's out. He's out. All right. Well, when it's hot as balls out and you're waiting on concrete for who knows how long, we're just waiting on our last load here. You know what time it is? It is Fritz Pack delay set time. Cycle a good bit of this stuff around in the pump while we wait. And then we'll go sit in the air-conditioned confines of the cab. Cool off for a bit. But I always put a little bit of this stuff in first. I'm gonna put a good bit in today because it is hot out. It's real hot. Spin this stuff around real good for a few minutes. Once I get it cycled through, I'll lift up and knock the stuff in off the back of the hopper here. Just like so, we'll work that around for a bit and then we're good to wait here for half an hour. And this first stuff without retarder has set up. Hot, 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 hot. All right, final top up on the walls here. Here's where we play that game. Will we have enough concrete? We had a 7-meter tag load here. Tag load. That's American for balance load. I think we're gonna have 1.5 cubic meters left over. Stay tuned. So when it's down to 2 meters, it's hollow here. Okay. Weird. It's so wet though.
It is wet.
2.5. We'll call it 2.5.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll call it 2.
Okay. All right, there we are, all pumped out. The boys are gonna fashion some steps, handcraft some steps down to the rampway there for the guys when they got to pack the forms out of here. All pumped out in the ideal position of 2 sections up, 3 sections down, pump everything out. Once it's gravity drained out, suck back about 10 strokes from reverse, boom, is completely empty, just mud in the deck pipe. Spin back around, suck just 1 sponge with a whole bunch of water, up, goosh down, pipes nice and clean. No sponge, water sponge today, not with this particular mix. 1 sponge and lots of water will be just fine. Not concerned about the lots of water in front of the first sponge because my whole boom is essentially empty and that water is going to come gushing back down, rush through the deck pipe and wash that concrete right into the hopper for an easy clean out. Ain't it a great theory? Works 99.7% of the time, so that's what we're going to do. Before we pull the ball back, we'll rinse the sides in here. Glad I knocked this clean earlier on between trucks there. Now you have a nice, easy wash out. Very little buildup. It's going to be great. And a couple squirts up the hose. Like so. We'll come over to the bucket here. Three strokes back. Let it fall back down. strokes back. I'll let it fall back down and splash all over me. Three strokes back. And let it fall back down for the last time. One more little squirt with the hose. Just like that, hose, tapers, everything's clean. I'll come down, just knock off at the 5-inch, throw my water and sponge in there, and then snap the whole assembly. 3-inch hose, 4 to 3 reducer, 5 to 4 reducer, snap that back on just from the 5-inch clamp. Bang, 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 quick and easy. Don't ever pull that water back more than 3 strokes because you don't want to pull it right up past the elbows. Then when it falls back down, it leaves a pack of elbows or a pack of rocks sitting in the elbows. 3 strokes, just want to get it into the hose, get into that first section, flush it out 3 times over. All that stuff's nice and clean. No further, no more than 3 strokes. That's the rule. All right, we'll just knock this clamp off. We'll fix this strap. I never do these straps up where they're relying on just the welded on loop. You also want to choke the reducer. So I'm going to fix that. That's not the way that I like it. People don't clean these rubbers out. Always clean the gasket out every day. Don't make it harder for the next guy. Grab my friend Mr. Sponge. Stroking in reverse at about 30% volume. Let's listen for it. Like that, we're at the beach. The ever so sweet sound. And just like that, sponge is back. We'll fold this girl up, spin around, wash her out, call it a day. What a day it has been. It is way, way, way too hot out. I wish it were like some of the places down south there where we could start at 4 or 5 in the morning and try and avoid this heat. But man, oh man, we are in the thick of it with no shade here, working in the afternoon. So anyhow, you know, goes like, share, subscribe ×3, and don't forget that contest. Best comment wins the Schwing 51SX die-cast concrete pump. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, always do your safety straps up properly. Over and out. If your pump doesn't have one of those, get one. Best thing ever. Love it. Boom, there she is. Every time sits right under the pin, even though I don't use the pin when I use one sponge. Every time. Another great thing about the 38.5, you don't even have to lift the boom up to wash out. It's gonna have a fancy bungee cord, that's all. All right, let's see how helpful our dirt was. And you'll find all we're gonna have is the dirt under the S-tube displacing where the concrete was. Maybe a little bit of concrete right here. A couple smacks with a bar, and she's out of here. Let's see. Okay, people, get ready to praise dirt. Couple whacks. Couple whacks. Ooh, that's hard. Couple whacks, just like that. Couple whacks, little scratch there, little whack there, where we didn't have dirt, obviously. Now let's see here. Anyhow, you get the idea. Normally under that tube like that, will be solidified with concrete. But we put dirt under there, so she just just falls out. And yes, I'm keeping my hands a safe distance away from this agitator in case it were to somehow spontaneously energize. But yeah, that's the name of the game. Dirt under the S-tube, so I'm not sitting here jackhammering when I really just want to go home. Anyhow, that was bonus content. Goodbye.